So my back goes out every once in a while. And I've learned that over time, it doesn't have anything to do with any physical event. My back is fairly strong and flexible. I do a regular yoga practice. And when I get this back pain, it's not because I lifted something or I did some weird twist or I fell. It's nothing like that. It's just back pain out of the blue. Now, despite having discomfort in my back, which can be pretty intense for a while, I don't go see a chiropractor, I don't go to physio, I don't go see a doctor, because I've learned over time that the best thing I can do for it is just focus on it energetically and heal it somatically. So here's how it all goes down with me. Hey, thanks for stopping by the Zone of Expandedness. I'm Chris. I'm glad you could come spend some time in the Consciousness Salon, a place where we can just look at things from a bit of a more expanded perspective than the kind of like narrow lens we often look at this world and most of society does. And when we take that expanded perspective and we explore it through the realm of experience, then it becomes something totally different. That's where some mental, quote unquote, understanding turns into wisdom, turns into actual experience, turns into like true knowing, instead of it just being a mental idea. And I know a lot about mental ideas. I'm an Aquarian, a very sharp mind. I have been in my head and in my mental energy as far back as I can remember. And it has been a journey for me to shift into these other areas of understanding and experience in more of like a heart level and also in a physical feeling level. That's really helped me get out of this mental energy that can actually be a bit annoying a lot of the time. One of the ways I really started to like feel more within my body and in my energy field and just the physical soma of my existence was I had a friend who did a lot of energy work sessions on me, and it was really quite revealing to the level that I started to be able to feel things. Like she started doing the work on me and I'd just be like, well, I don't know, I didn't feel anything. Then after a while I really started to notice just the energetics that were going on as she was doing this work. And as I was having a session, then I could just tune into it and go like, okay, this is what energy in the body feels like. And also this understanding started to emerge that, well, that's pretty much all my physical sensations are. All these feelings I ever have in my body is energetic. If I'm having an emotion or knock my elbow at something that's like, ow, I ride my bike into a tree, it's all the same energetic something or other that's going on that I'm experiencing. As well, over the past 15, 20 years, I've become a regular meditator. And that is the practice of just noticing all the shit that's going on in your body. And a lot of what's going on is physical sensations. And I took a couple of Vipassana meditation courses, 10-day long retreats where that practice is like focus on the physical sensations in your body, do repetitive body scans. And it's a super useful exercise to just tune into yourself on the physical level and start to feel the energies that run through your body. These things that we call physical sensations, the things that we call our emotions that always have a physical sensation. Notice when you are having an intense emotional experience or even a mild emotional experience, there's always corresponding feelings in the body, and that's mostly what we're feeling. We have some words that go along with the emotions, but it's mostly feeling and this energy sensation. So after getting into energy work and meditation and just being able to tune a little bit more into my body, I started to just sort of like hang out there and work with sensations in my body and just feel them in meditation and explore them and just kind of be curious about them. And I noticed how you just hang out with them, they start to shift, they start to release, which is a lot of what I noticed during these energy work sessions my friend did on me, that it would be like, oh yeah, I'm feeling that release. And it's mostly due to just putting awareness onto it, breathing into it, noticing it, that it helps that process along where things start to shift, move, and eventually release. So then I had this friend who was doing a course in somatic healing, and I asked her, what's somatic healing? And she described the process of focusing on sensations in your body, find out where these trapped energies are, pain bodies, traumatic experiences, emotional blockages that we hold within our body, and how we can release them, not using our mind, not using like talk therapy or, those sorts of traditional counseling skills where you use your mind and you go in and you try to understand what's going on. You just kind of bypass that altogether and just go into the body and feel the sensations of these blocked emotions or traumas or whatever they could be in the body. And by giving them attention, by giving them breath, they start to shift, they start to release. And I was like, holy shit, that's what I've been doing just on my own. Sweet. I have been doing my own form of somatic healing, because it was just, again, through the breath work, through the meditation, I just started to do it myself. So here's my own approach. What I've discovered works for me when I do somatic healing. Okay, first of all, I always do it lying down because I'm so much more relaxed and meditative if I'm just lying down. There's times I've taken a little bit of cannabis gummies. I like the edibles because it's, I don't know, the vibration's a little different than if you smoke, but a mild amount. And I find sometimes it just helps to get me into like this meditative place. But I often do it with like no cannabis, no anything. I wouldn't recommend drinking coffee or getting yourself any stimulants or anything like that, because you want to be as relaxed as possible. I'm no different than anybody else. I have a busy mind. I have to go about my life in this world. I have to think about shit and, navigate our day-to-day world. So if my mind is busy, I give it some time. I lie there and I often do some breathing exercise, just real mild, extended exhale, focusing on the breath, or do a inhale, hold, extended exhale. There's lots of different techniques. There's a lot of different counting that you can do to go along with it, but just that mild, repetitive, breath work that just helps me to get into my body and out of my mind. And when I'm there, I just start to explore what's going on in my energy field with curiosity. Don't have any expectations, don't have any goals. I'm just sort of being curious. I got some hot spots in my body that I've noticed over the years. My lower back, in particular, my right hip, is fairly locked up. No amount of yoga I seem to do really gets at it deeply, but it's definitely on the right side. I got some energetics that go down into my leg. I've been working with a long time. I quit my corporate job for my 50th birthday present to myself a number of years ago, and I had this experience where my lower back locked up into my leg. I had, I don't know, nerve stuff kind of going on. It was really intense, and it started the day I signed my official resignation papers. So there was a whole bunch of trapped energy that was locked up in there, somehow having to do with this fucking corporate job I did for about 17 years while I raised my kids and paid the mortgage and all that sort of stuff that needed to be released. And I'm still working on some of it. Some of that is still in my leg. It's in my hip. I have arthritis coming through in my hands, so sometimes I focus on that. And I have this pain body portal, I call it, that's on my upper left side to the left of my heart. And if I am in some stressed out emotions or mental state, it can really be active. It can wake me up at night sometimes. And sometimes I have to do this in the middle of the night because I wake up and it's like, it's just going electric, and it's demanding me to kind of focus on it. So it can be various things along those lines. Those are like my hot spots. And if, I don't know, maybe you do this too, or if you start to do it, you'll discover your own little hot spots, these places where we've locked in some tension or some emotion or some trauma. It can be past life stuff. I mean, my energy healing friend was telling me about, my hip, and it's like, wow, you've had your leg lopped off in battle like numerous times, like what could be more traumatic than that? Get your leg cut off and having to bleed to death out in the middle of a battlefield. We've been through this stuff in our human experiences. We've lived a lot of traumatic lifetimes, and some of this is locked deep down in our unconscious, in our energy fields, and it's why the somatic side to it is so powerful. Like, you don't have to really understand it. Our mind wants to pop everything into it and churn everything through it so that it can understand what's going on, even though it'll never understand. You can't. How do you understand the multidimensionality of past lives, concurrent lives, whatever you want to call it? And the need to clear through space-time, traumatic experiences, the mind will never understand that. So it can just take a seat to the side, don't worry about it, because the body's also a very powerful tool. And this avatar that we drive around in is connected to the infinity of everything, because it's just our magic suit that we wear, and it has skills and abilities that are beyond the mind. So if you just do the somatic practice and let the body take care of what the body knows how to take care of, that's part of it, is just getting out of the way with your mind, being relaxed, getting yourself into a relaxed state, focusing on these parts of your body. And then it's mostly a question of just giving it attention. That is a technique that is practiced through many lineages. Just focus your attention on it. And if you do it with some curiosity, even if it's uncomfortable, you got uncomfortable energy, especially I kind of deal with this up here. It's just man, it's right? My reaction, many people, you might do the same thing. You just want to distract yourself. It's I don't want to freaking deal with that. I want to have a drink. I want to go talk to my friends. I want to watch TV. I want to do anything else besides just sit and focus on this and let it go. But when you do it with curiosity, with focused attention, with breathing, you can breathe into it. You can imagine your breath going to that spot in your body. If you've never done it before and you get the advice, just breathe into your knees, it can be what the fuck are you talking about? Breathe into my knees. I breathe into my lungs, dipshit. It's no, it's an energetic thing. When you bring the breath into your body, then just imagine the energy of that going into your knees. Imagine it going into your shoulder. Imagine it going into these tense spots. And then just putting your attention on it and keeping it there with gentleness, with curiosity, letting it do what it needs to do. You don't need to have an agenda for it, because a lot of that comes from the mind. It's God damn it, you're gonna release. And I've been working on this stuff in my leg for 7 years, and it's still not fully out of there. And I just let it do its thing, because there could be 700 lifetimes of stuff locked in there, and it just might not release just one Wednesday afternoon because I think it should release now. Things in their own time. Siga, siga, sabai, sabai, as they say in Thai. So gentleness, patience. And if you can get to that next step, where just feed it a little compassion, feed it a little love, feed it a little understanding, like you would our child parts. You can think of it as your child parts. Think of how you console a child who's having a temper tantrum, who's having a bad day. You just give the child, or you can give these parts of yourself some loving attention and some gentleness, and don't have to force anything. The exercise and the practice of patience and stillness and attention is what's so powerful. It's not from this place of will, like so much of our mind is action and will and got to accomplish results, or we're not getting anywhere. Where you take that opposite approach, you take the yin approach instead of the yang, and you just go at it with gentleness and breath and stillness and curiosity. I don't know, man, you'll be amazed what can shift just using that energy, which is counterintuitive to everything we've ever been taught about our mind and how we get shit done around here. It's action and will, and you got to have a plan. You got to get up in the morning and attack the day. And actually, the opposite approach can be very powerful. And so that is some of those essential framework skills and attitude to have when approaching just your own somatic practice. And you can really just give it a rip all on your own. And maybe you do that already. Maybe you're like me and you stumbled upon this all on your own just through meditation. And what is yoga? Yoga is the asana practices of yoga are so powerful because they require your attention. They're made to be difficult on purpose. Physical, difficult postures that you have to put some attention to it. And that's how you get the release. Sure, we can put all kinds of like physical, this is why yoga is good to stretch. We can think about the muscles, but it's mostly an energetic practice. And that is why it is powerful. And the somatic practice is also the same. So drop a comment down below if you've had some of your own experiences or you've messed around, and what have you found with your own kind of like somatic investigation. And as I said, with those like principles, you can do it yourself. Yes, you can go to a somatic healer. Yes, there's practitioners out there that are skilled and trained and can help you. And you can also mess around with it by yourself. So I wish you well. Good luck, my friends. It's not a dull journey. Gentle curiosity just goes so far in everything that we do. And if you're ever curious about conscious coaching in your life and how that can help to, I don't know, get you on a different path, explore your deeper alignment, I do have services as a professional conscious coach. And the aim is always just, what is your highest timeline? What is the best version of yourself that you could possibly live out in this lifetime? And what is been blocks and kind of keeping you from that so far? And through, again, gentle exploration and guidance. And whoa, it's amazing what you can accomplish. So all my contact info is down below. Have your people call my people. Even though I don't have any people, I'm not hard to get in touch with. So if that interests you, I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, hit me up with a subscribe and a like, because it helps the channel grow and helps this message get out to more people. And I appreciate the support. Thanks for hanging out in the zone of expandedness, my friends. Good luck on your journey. Just be gentle with yourself and others out there. It's a frickin' shit show down here in the human realm, and we don't need to make it any worse. Whew, just clear all this crap and we're going to be so much better off. Really, totally. Lots of love.